all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
The next show will start in 2 minutes.
Yes, Toddy, the chocolate malt in a can.
It's so good hot. It's so good cold.
It hits the spot with young and old.
Yes, toddy pleases everybody. Delicious chocolate malted toddy, made with rich, real milk, not powdered milk.
So come and get it, everybody. It's time to drink your chocolate toddy.
Just a minute, folks.
John, hi everybody. It's me, and yet once again, Facebook tells me we may be using music that isn't ours. Well, you know what? That's just not possible, and Facebook will be hearing from me because all of my music actually comes from stuff that I purchased myself that is totally and utterly royalty free. Right now, we've got in our green room, so to speak, both Ginette and Greg and Jack. So let's bring Jack in right now to say hi. Hi, Jack.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm great. What's going on in the land of Jack since last time I saw you?
Oh, we just finished the Canterbury Tales.
Indeed.
The Canterbury Tales project went really, really well. Very proud of everybody, like 50 actors, writers, technicians, everybody putting it together. And it was 12 different stories. It was amazing.
That is awesome. Now, tomorrow, I got to tell you, I wasn't gonna talk about this, but I'm going to talk about this.
Of course.
For anybody out there who knows Bob Dutton, an Orlando actor of some, actually a great actor in general, but he's an Orlando guy. One of the guys who came down and worked at Disney, worked at Universal. Mm-hmm. Well, Bob has come on some very hard times health-wise. Just a few months ago, he was diagnosed with something not good. And Bob wrote a wonderful, wonderful little play called The Ivory Door. And actually, I believe it's a play with music. And okay, Greg. And Greg was just telling me he's getting a bad signal. He's coming back in a minute. And tomorrow, it will actually be broadcast live at 10 a.m. It'll start at 10 a.m. in hopes that Bob will be a little more alert and able to watch. So check out, if you look at my Facebook, my personal Facebook, folks, you can see the link in the article that's attached there, okay? On from that, we're gonna have some fun tonight. Right now, I am going to introduce the one and only Miss Ginette from Butterfly Dreams and Metamorphosis. Here we go. Hey!
Hey, Miss G.
Hi, how are you?
I am great. How about yourself?
I was just dreamy, living the dream, you know.
Fantastic. Anything that is misspelled as of now will stay that way forever. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you know, the Facebook and the for some reason the thing wants to correct your name every time I put it in. And I don't know when it's going to do that. So there's that. Right, and now, ladies and gentlemen, Ginette, anything exciting happening for you?
Oh, always. Lots of stuff happening. We are getting ready for Halloween and Christmas and all that fun stuff.
Very cool. Well, here's a guy that this is really interesting because I've been kind of wanting to have this meeting for a long time. And it's funny that it's going to happen here and now for the first time. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Winter Garden, Florida. Yes, the garden spot of Central Florida. Here he is, Vagabond Troupe, the Santa Company, the Sunburst Convention of Celebrity Impersonators, and any other websites. Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Thomson. Yeah.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, how are
Greg?
you?
This is Ginette. Ginette, this is Greg.
Hi.
Ginette.
Nice to meet you finally.
What's
Same
going on
here.
in your
Can
neck
you
of the
guys
woods,
see
Greg?
me okay? I'm actually. What's that?
There's a little lag.
Yeah, I'm actually in Chadburn, North Carolina, so I don't have a great signal right now.
Oh, my mistake. From all the way from Chadburn, North Carolina, the garden spot of the Carolinas. Instead
it's
of,
not.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I'm
That's
actually
okay.
moving closer to the standby. I'm actually moving closer, so maybe I can get a little better signal here.
Closer to Florida.
Is that any better?
That I think so. You're a little choppy, but you know what? We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. So, can you tell us a tiny bit about what you're doing up there, Greg? Or are you completely
during COVID-19, I ended up in a situation where, as we all were, completely out of work, nothing whatsoever.
Wait.
And
during the COVID-19, you're talking as though it's past tense.
What's that?
You're talking as though it's past tense.
Well, we're still in it. I'm looking for earphones because I don't think I packed my earphones. So I apologize. If it's too much, let me know.
No, you're fine.
But in my hometown has not been in the best situation for about 40 years. And the downtown years ago, well, my hometown had nothing on Winter Garden, and a piece of property became available. I needed to make an investment to look out for my future. So I invested in a rather large space in my hometown in North Carolina. So I'm turning it into a special events and performance hall. And everybody's very excited about it. I've gotten a lot of good response, but I've been working really hard today. And see, I got into entertainment because there was heavy lifting involved. And things have changed a little bit for me now. So in about 8 months, we should be open. And I'm going to run it from Florida. I have someone here to manage it here locally, but everybody seems to be very excited about having live entertainment and a special events place right here in our little home.
Well, that's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. I love that very much.
So I'm in a friend's house because COVID-19, my family's like, we love you, but don't come stay with us. So I was going to get a hotel to stay in, and some friends have a home here for sale. And they said, don't stay in a hotel, come stay in our home. So I'm staying in the home of Tony and Brenda Freeman. And here I am. So with the internet and everything. So
isn't that lovely? That's lovely. That's lovely. Well, folks, let's talk about this COVID-19. This is an interesting time of year because I'm going to tell you something. At least for me, you may have noticed in those photos that we have in the beginning, there were a couple of pictures of the clauses. And those clauses are very close to Jack and myself, very good friends of ours. And that is the connection between these two folks up here and these two folks down here. Okay?
Oh no, you didn't. You didn't. Tell me
the connection. Yes, I did. The connection is just that we worked for both Ginette and for Greg as Mr. and Mrs. Claus. In fact, Jack and I. There's no kids watching, I hope. And if there is, I told you. Jack and I have a long-standing engagement, in fact, on Thanksgiving night for Greg. I'm wondering what's going to happen with that, if anything.
It's been like 6 years, right, Greg? I think it's been like, 5-6 years?
That's about right, yeah, at least.
And then with Ginette, that's rather flattering, I have to tell you. That's cool. That's cool. And then with Ginette, hi Ginette. With Ginette, Jack and I again have, oh my goodness, a couple of 3 places we go together, along with that other lady that you saw in those photos, and the other ladies you saw in those photos. So we really don't know where that's going to go either, do we, Ginette?
I just turned the light off behind me.
Very nice.
Oh, much better, Greg. Much better.
Well, what do you think, Ginette? We're kind of waiting to see what's going to happen yet, are we not?
Yes, I mean, there's some people that are still wanting to move forward with the in-person events, and then there's some that want to do virtual. So we're gonna do both of them.
Yep.
I think they're gonna,
well, that's cool as long as they stay a good 6 or 10 feet away from this old fat guy. Well, not so fat anymore. Not trying to be mean, but this is crazy. By the way, I just checked and discovered we are actually going live to 3 places: my Facebook page, the Joe Zimmer Show page, and the Joe Zimmer YouTube page. The Joe Zimmer Show YouTube page, which is now there. We're actually going live to that. I don't know if that means a damn thing, but we are doing it. So talk about virtual stuff. I see there are some people out there. I know you guys know Cammie, right? Both of you know Cammie Miller, right? Greg, you do, don't you?
If you don't, Greg, you should. She's a lovely lady.
Cammie Miller, you know Cammie Miller, right? Mrs. Claus.
I got to tell you, I'm having a horrible time hearing. I can't really understand a lot what's been said, what you're saying. I'm sorry.
We're talking about Cammie Miller, who plays Mrs. Claus. You know her because I know I've gone.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Well, she's doing a Mrs. Claus show now. Nothing wrong with that. If we ever need a little.
Yeah, I see her on Facebook. I love her portrayal. It's awesome.
Yeah. And so I'm seeing people jump in, and I know Ginette, you and I, and Jack as well, but Jack not as Mrs. Claus, but we just did a thing, did we not? Yeah, and what was that for?
That was for Runway to Hope.
Right.
Yeah, that was fun. Runway of Hope. That was fun. I did some fun stuff with the green screen behind. I'm not really at Disney World, folks. I wish I was. But the interesting thing, The street, as you see it behind me, is probably just exactly what it looks like at any given time during the day, right now. Anyways, so Ginette, I know you've got something interesting coming up for the Halloween season that that actually has something to do with that lady right over there. Yes. And let me just show you what this is.
We're in
Ladies
trouble,
and
Miss G.
gentlemen, check this out. This was sent to me just a short time ago. Hocus Pocus. What can you tell us about that, Ginette?
Well, we are going to have some of the ladies, the Wicked Ladies, do some different virtual activities and also do some social distance activities in person. We are planning a lot of fun stuff for them to do, and we're going to have different things pop up on virtuality, virtual, I can't even talk today, virtual activities, and then in person we want to do like a drive-by, if you will, a parade, a flyby is what I called it when I posted it today. And we're just looking to have some fun and enjoy Halloween as much as we can, being, social distance and being safe.
Very cool. That sounds exciting, actually. It really does. Right now, almost anything sounds exciting, I think.
It's true.
Truth be told, there's just, there's not a heck of a lot going on out there at the moment. In fact, I know I was talking to someone earlier today about the possibility of doing something. So we've been yakking about that. What about you, Greg? Have you got anything coming up that's even in the mix?
Well, as far as Christmas, I've had several phone calls and people wanting to know what we were going to do. I've had one book, and they said they would like for Santa to make a video for the kids because I was there in person last year. But interestingly enough, I got a call for a Halloween fest that we've been doing for about 13 years, and they're going to cancel the Halloween fest itself, but the entire week they're going to have outdoor entertainment so people can enjoy it. So that's nice.
So people will I'm assuming this is in the I know this place very well, I'm assuming.
Yes, you do.
Okay. Can I say where it is?
Sure.
It's in Winter Garden. It's the Winter Garden Festival, right?
Yeah.
I did a couple of years.
So they've been our client for about 13 years, and they want to book the Sweeney Family Band and Stilt Walkers and a couple of other things, including a strolling magician. You know one?
I do know one, and I know one that's much healthier than he was last year.
Which way do I go? Wait.
But I'm not sure how that would work at this stage in the game. You know what I mean? But we can always talk.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I have an idea. I'll share it with you later.
Cool. And Ginette, now aside from the Halloween thing, I know you've gotten a couple of calls for Christmas, but again, we're still in the stages.
So we have both, like I mentioned earlier, we have both virtual and we have both in person. And in person, that they already know that we are going to be, social distancing ourselves from the crowd. I mean, I'm trusting that, those type of events still move forward for all of us. But of course, we want to make it safe for everyone and make everyone feel comfortable as well, especially our precious actors.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't mind. I'm not ashamed to say I'm freaking terrified. But there's a lot of reasons behind that. I have someone at home who I certainly don't want to bring anything home to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think a lot of us do, Joe. I think a lot of us do. So it's a matter of just logistics, right, Miss G? It's a matter of logistics.
And Greg, I know you have, like I say, you've got the whoops. Greg,
I think we lost him.
Bye.
He'll be back.
That's okay. We'll get him back. But that's, there he comes. That's just par for the course. I know, Greg, I was just saying, Greg, I know we just talked about stuff that was coming up for you as well. I'm kind of excited to see what we're going to do. You know what I'm saying? I really am. I mean, I know I've discussed with both of you guys. I've discussed with both of you guys different things, and let's face it, folks. And as Greg and I know Ginette feels the same way. There's room for everybody in this town, as long as it's quality.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I always say that. And ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of synergy. Am I right, kids?
Right.
If it comes up.
That's right. And even because we get, we pretty much fill up, especially on Saturdays. And when I get a call and we can't fulfill it because of scheduling or whatever, I always refer someone else who I know offers a quality product. Ginette being one of them.
Thank you.
I like that.
Ditto.
Now, I want to try something here, and I'm going to tell you the truth, I'm not sure that this is going to work without throwing everything akimbo. But I believe, there it is. So you're all still there. I'll be damned. Check this out if I can figure out where it is. Okay. Check this out.
Oh.
Oops. Didn't want to do well. Wait a minute. I'll come back. I'll bring it back. Hang on. There we go. Let's bring it back from the start. I'm going to let this play.
Guys, if you will excuse me just for about a minute, I need to completely refresh my computer, and I will join you back here in just a minute, but I'm not getting a good signal back to me, okay?
Sure.
I'll be right back.
Seen him in.
This is showing all of our different that we have for kids for Butterfly Dream side. We have so many types.
Gosh, we had fun doing those, didn't we, Miss G?
Yes, we did. I miss you doing them with us. And some of our virtual activities.
He's fun. He is really something, that guy.
He really is. He's wonderful.
And then this goes into our metamorphosis, which is our grown-up side.
And maybe I'll be doing some of that too. You never know.
It was a great shot of the Three Stooges. I like that.
Oh, fun.
Yes, we have a lot of fun. We just actually did a prom and a graduation dinner for a family of 14. They rented a nice home in Reunion, and we completely turned that basketball court into a full-on prom. I was in charge of all the vendors. I was in charge of everything. And it was so much fun. We had a DJ, we had makeup artists and hair artists and florist and balloon artist and photographer and everything under the sun. It was so much fun. And then the graduation dinner catered and decor and everything. It was a lot of fun, and I was so thankful to be a part of that.
Oh God, that was a blast. That was fun.
Yes.
They're wonderful too. Oh, that was a fun day, but God, it was hot.
Yes.
You've done weddings before, haven't you, Miss G?
I can do weddings. I mean, I don't like to put myself out there too much as a planner, as more of an entertainment hostess, things of that nature. But with the prom and the dinner that we just did, I planned everything. So I can plan everything from beginning to end. But I do like to work with different planners and event coordinators, so I can work with them, helping them bring their event to fruition and making their dream event come true. And a lot of times the planners and whatnot don't want to be the face of the event, so they hire me to step in, and I come and I host the event that they actually plan. So I can do a little bit of everything.
Do you think? I'm going to have this is both for Ginette and for Greg's back. Hi, Greg. I'm going to ask both of this question. Do you think that is, to a certain degree, the direction the business is going in now? Is kind of a bigger events to include everybody in the family at the same time? I'll start with Greg if you want to answer that, Greg.
I'm sorry, I missed part of your conversation earlier. So just
the whole thing is it's that people are having events that everybody's included, corporate events and that sort of thing. Where, like what we did with the Wizard of Oz some years ago. Oh my God, that was fun. That sort of thing,
Yeah.
Greg. And even families are doing that, having a big family party and bringing out the entertainment. Are you seeing it going in that direction, or is that?
I think it's definitely becoming more popular. And when things work well, other people go, "Hey, let's do that." So I do see a little more of that. So I guess the answer would be yes.
Okay, so now we're going to go over to Ginette, and I think your two businesses are that much different that it probably goes more in that direction for Ginette, who's over there, not over there because it's backwards, but is over there. Am I right, Ginette?
Yes. So yeah, we do a little bit of everything. So that's the direction. I mean, everything from to small to large. So it really just depends on the client that you have and what their expectations are and what they're comfortable with. So, like I said, the one event that we plan on doing in person, they're wanting to go full force like we have done the last few years. Again, we will make sure that our, social distancing is in place. And then there's other people, I have other clients all the way in California that they are not able to go out. They have nothing that's open yet. So they're planning on having Santa and Mrs. Claus attend, virtually, because that's really, what they can do right now. And they chose us to fulfill that for them.
Which I think, frankly, at least for my money, okay, is a lot of fun. Only because, for example, Jack and I were talking about this extensively, and I think Cammie has gone this direction as well. Cammie's a Christmas nut to begin with.
Yes, she is.
And nut in the nicest way possible if you're watching Cammie. But Cammie's already decorated for Christmas. She never stopped. So she's decorated, and Jack is kind of doing a Christmas corner. I can do, it's really weird because I can reach into the magic. I can do literally anything I want as a background. I can even be in the, I'm getting it set up where I can actually ride in the sleigh and be in the sleigh, believe it or not. This is my absolute favorite thing to be able to do.
Oh, here you go.
My finger on my nose and blink and wink and do that. That's fun. That's really, that's the green screen, obviously. So there's many fun things I can do. So to me, this makes Santa that little bit more magical. Although, because Greg actually appears as Santa as well, and does a fine job, I might add. I've actually worked with Greg as the Winter Warlock while he was Santa, and we had a ball. We also got yelled at a couple of times because we were like, "Well, come over and show me a trick." No, actually, he should be going over there. There was nobody there. There you go. That was at a car dealership, wasn't it, Greg? A Cadillac dealership?
I think it was, yeah. That was a while back.
Strange things you remember. It really is. Now, Greg, I'm going to go to Greg for just a second here because, and then I'm going to put you both. We're going to move into what is my favorite portion of the show, and you'll find out what that is in a moment. But for the moment, Greg, because we've talked about butterfly dreams and metamorphosis, butterfly dreams being the kind of the kids' arm. Am I correct, Ginette?
Kids, tweens, and teens, yes.
And then metamorphosis kind of being I don't want to say adult, and we talked about this. We've talked about this extensively, believe it or not. And I don't want to say adult, but the grown up, right?
Yes.
Part of it. But then who's grown up? I'm certainly not. You know that for sure. And the party planning and all of that. I want to come back to Greg because you've got something unique that Ginette is definitely not doing. And that is something that you and your lovely wife, who I positively adore, run. And it is called the I wrote it wrong once, and I won't do it again. The Sunburst Convention of Celebrity Impersonators.
Mm-hmm.
Greg, that has been going on for how many? This would have been anniversary year, am I correct?
That's right. Well, this would have been, starting next Wednesday, would have been our 18th convention, believe it or not. And we canceled it this year because of COVID-19. So we're having our 18th anniversary next year, and it's just going to be even bigger. But something we started by accident, and it's become quite the thing, and we're very proud of it.
Yeah, I understand that for sure. Having attended a couple of times, I don't attend for a long period of time because I'm just not good with that kind of stuff. With even magicians conventions, I'm only good for so long, and then I go, I can't do it anymore. But I was there. I literally was there at the very beginnings of this. I mean, literally at the very beginnings of this. At the Flamingo
you were at the
Room.
very first when you were doing a show together.
Well,
called the Hypno Magic Show. I was a stage hypnotist at the time, and Joe would do magic for the first 45 minutes, and I would do stage hypnosis for the last 45 minutes. During that time, we started the Sunburst Convention, so Joe was there watching me develop it from the very beginning.
I mean, I remember one day we were in the Flamingo Room. This is at the old Mercado. Now, if you go back, if you remember what the Mercado was, now it's the I don't know what the hell it's called. It's where the
Eye
is now. The Orlando Eye, excuse me.
Yeah.
And we were sitting there, and some people came in and started talking about this convention. I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? And all of a sudden, it started off relatively small. Am I right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, the first year we put it together in just a few months, and we had about 35 to 40 celebrity impersonators and about a dozen talent agents. And we had so much fun, we said, let's do it again. And the next year, it's grown ever since then. And now we average about 80, anywhere between 80 and 100 professional celebrity impersonators. And we have about 65 different agencies, schools, 55 plus communities who attend to purchase entertainment by the celebrity impersonators. But there's not just one per company. There's usually 2 to 5 people per company who come, and the public's invited to attend. But during the day, it's all business. It's all about marketing and promotion and how to do things right, which not only pertains to celebrity impersonators, it pertains to everybody. But at night, we let loose and have fun.
It really is a blast. My buddy here, Michael Walters, appears as Jackie Gleason at the convention. Michael's a dear friend, and there he is again as Dame Edna. If you've never seen any of this, he's got a show. He's got a show right now on Monday nights called Miami Mondays. Miami Mondays with the girls, and he and his partner Doug play Dorothy and Sophia.
And they're great. It's so much fun.
Golden Girls.
Yep.
It is hysterical, guys and gals and everybody out there. Miami Mondays. You look it up on Facebook, you'll find it. Okay. Let's get that. I plugged Michael. I feel better now.
All right. Joe, listen, I am so sorry, but I'm really having trouble hearing and listening in properly. So I'm going to have to cut out, but thank you so much for having me.
Grand to have you, buddy. Take care of yourself up there and don't work too hard, okay?
All right, Jack, it was great seeing you. And Ginette, finally meeting you in person was very nice. Thank you.
It was.
Good night, Greg.
Good night, Greg.
All right, good night. Take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.
That was Mr. Greg Thomson, our buddy, all the way from up there in I forgot where it was.
North Carolina.
Chadburn, North Carolina. Chadburn, North or South, somewhere in the Carolinas.
You know what's funny? I have to say, it's really funny. how small the world is, even when we're talking about this, because we have a lot of friends who work for Greg, Patty, Patty Corso is one, and it's just like the spillover. It is such a small world, the entertainment world.
Well, this is why, and Greg and I have always said this. Yeah. This is why I say there's room for everybody in this business, in this town. Ain't nobody more important than anybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Now, Miss Ginette,
and
Miss Jack,
and
I guess Mr. Joe. We're going to go to my favorite portion of the show. We're at about the halfway point, so this is as good a time as any.
Be very scared, Ginette. Be very scared.
That is Ginette. Now, I know you've got to have some stories, and you must have some stories on wacky things that have happened in your career. Now, I'm talking everything, Ginette. Now, I don't know how many people know, but Miss Ginette right here, Miss Ginette, I'm going to just, right there, Miss Ginette actually worked for a time at Walt Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
And did what she's doing right now, I think. What, Ginette? What, I happen to know what it is because I'm in the studio out back right now. This is the fabulous Joe Zimmer studio in the heart of Conway, Florida. It's a tough shed at the back of my house. And in the house is a person who, until recently, I had no idea, but actually worked with Ginette. How about that?
What Chris did, really?
So Ginette, right there's Ginette. She's over there. Ginette, tell us what you did at Walt Disney World.
I performed in the parades and shows at the lovely Magic Kingdom from 1997 to 2000. So just a few years ago.
Yeah, just last week.
Yes. I mean, I remember it like it was last week. It's crazy how the brain works. But I did multiple roles. I was called a coach at one point. I had to come out. This is when we had show stops in the parade. I had to come out with a microphone and talk to the guests where the parade was going to stop in front of them and let them know what they were doing. I was one time also called a Cinderella's Royal Court dancer. So we opened up the day parade. I was friends with many different characters as Tigger and also Maleficent and Snow Queen and also Fairy.
So interestingly enough, Ginette, and this is something I don't know if I've ever told you, but odds are you and I worked together back in the day.
No way.
What was it, 90? What was it, Ginette?
1997 to 2000.
Yeah, it's very possible. I think that was towards the end of my time with that department. And then I went over to the Diamond Horseshoe.
Okay.
Which.
Yeah, I did Hoedown as well, which, we were in Frontierland, and I was Minnie's Main Street Memories. And I also did my good friend Maleficent performed on the castle, in front of the castle for Every Day is a Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever do before they stopped doing it? I'll never forget as long as I live. I will never forget. I've done some really cool stuff. Okay, been to Japan, both Universal, Disney, did incredible roles. I was Sam the freaking bartender of the Diamond Horseshoe. You didn't get much better than that, folks.
Yeah, Diamond Horseshoe was a bomb.
It was pretty cool working with the likes of Jerry Rose and Michael Branson, some amazing people. Anyways, but I was friends for a couple of years with Baloo the Bear. Okay. And that's how we say it, gang. Just get used to it. And I will never forget as long as I live. And it was one of the last times it happened. The big New Year's Eve show on the castle stage.
Mm-hmm.
And being Baloo the Bear, we did the we did the dance of the sugar, the dance of the sugar plum fairies.
Oh my
It was
God.
Blue, Big Al, and Liver Lips. Right. And we did that, and you couldn't see a whole hell of a lot from where you were, but I'll be damned. Imagine what I'm looking at behind me here, completely packed all the way down from the castle all the way down to the train station with people trying to get a glimpse of what's happening on that stage and waiting for my dear friend Kevin McGowan, a little person. Did you know Kevin? Yeah. Kevin McGowan, a little person dressed as Baby New Year to come shooting down from the castle pyramid and flying down at midnight. It was nuts. Never forget that. Did you get to do that, Ginette?
I did not. Not that.
Oh.
No, I did not. But I think I usually was not feeling well on New Year's, so I didn't get to do it.
You know, that year was a crazy year for me too, because I was subbing at that time the Diamond Horseshoe show, and you know, Christmas time being what it is, almost every day I was working the Diamond Horseshoe show on double time.
Yeah.
I got my paycheck, and payroll calls me and says, "Wait a minute, what the hell are we paying you for? Call me!" And I said, I had to explain it to them, and they said, "Man, you are one lucky guy this time of the year. Don't I know it?" Yeah, that was back in the day when that kind of thing could happen.
Yes.
It couldn't happen anymore.
But
that was pretty
holiday pay, and even if you weren't there, I miss all that because being
I do too. I do too. Now it's much different, and boy, those people that can't go back to work, it breaks my heart when I think about all my dear friends. But Ginette, let's talk about your Disney time. Now there must have been something crazy that happened at Disney. Come on,
at least 4 or 5 things. Come on, Miss G.
At Disney. Okay, well, the first thing that just popped up in my head, my mother, is one of my biggest fans, Miss Monique. Hi, Mom. And my mother is French Canadian, and there's a French Canadian newspaper, and I was put in the French Canadian newspaper of dancing in Hoedown, and it said, Ginette, daughter of Monique, and and it went on and on and on. Well, my friend John, my really good friend John, we would dance a lot together, and he would say, "You have to put the bow in your hair because you're not going to get recognized. Put the bow, put the bow, put the bow." And I would always joke and put the bow in my hair and travel loop down the hill, doing my thing, spinning around, all that stuff. This lady literally grabbed me. "You're in the French newspaper. You're in the French newspaper." Thank you. Like, still trying to do my travel loop down the street, not tripping my heels and all of that.
Oh my God.
That was Chris. And then my friend with John was like, "See, I told you, you wouldn't have been recognized as Dr. Bo." But that was something that was a lot of fun and quite like shocking. That was one thing. Another thing I didn't really care for was we called it ruining the magic tours, to where, the guests would come downstairs and backstage and they would see us half dressed and freak out or whatever. And I'm like, to this day, that's why I like to always keep it, magical and dreaming everything and make sure I say the right words, because I don't want to ruin anybody's magic. Even I know, obviously, that's what I used to do, but I still like to keep the magic when I go there, That was
I hear you.
I didn't really care for, and I just felt like, okay, money, money, money. But that was one thing. Another thing, we were out at Firestone one night, and we ran into John Stamos and Rebecca Romaine Stamos, and
you got a funny story about that.
We hung out with them, and it was actually a night that a bunch of me and my friends, both male and female, dressed up in drag. And if you were dressed in drag, you would get in free to Firestone, and you would save $20 to get in and free.
Yep.
So we had makeup artists do our makeup and our hair and everything, and I think I looked like an alien. But either way, I was behind my two guy friends that were dressed in drag, and they said, go ahead. So I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like do I look like a man? Like, I was like freaking out all night, but I was like, hey, I say $20.
Yeah.
And we went up in VIP, and there is John Stamos and Rebecca Romaine. And they waved us up, and me and my girlfriend Wanda, we went up there and hung out with them for, a good 20 minutes or so. And then the next day when we were performing in Hoedown, we ended up seeing them, and we're waving to them, and oh my God, we like tried to find them later on, but we couldn't. But we're like, it's me. Like, they didn't recognize who we were because we looked, obviously we're.
Well, of course. Yeah.
You look semi-normal.
Now, I'll tell you, it's very funny because they were. I'm not sure if that wasn't Christmas time. That was when they were filming the show. Am I correct? They were filming the Full House episode on Property, right?
I'm not really sure why they were there. I only saw them. And they were, I think, on their honeymoon or something, and it was her birthday about to come up. But
I'll tell you, this is so funny. I had to go over to. I don't remember why. Yes, I do. I do remember why. I was going to meet my friends for brunch on a Sunday at the Grand Floridian. Okay, and I got to the Grand Floridian, and I was exhausted. Okay, and I didn't want to take stairs. I just did not want to deal with stairs. So I got on the elevator. So I stepped into the elevator, and there was a guy in there wearing literally nothing but a Speedo. Okay. And it was a very handsome man. Very handsome man. And it was none other than John Stamos. And I proceeded to make a complete ass of myself. I looked at him and I went, oh dear. And he was he was the single nicest person you ever want to meet, especially under the circumstances. Now, I wasn't being a lech, mind you, but geez, he looked good, I mean, what the hell? I'm not going to lie. There it was. Anyways, there's that.
I kind of feel left out because I never really officially worked for Disney. I was a member of Encore, the musical group that they had for about 3 years. But I dated Pooh for a while. Does that count?
Well, if you got a stick, you could probably get it off,
And I can't tell you why we broke up unless, this is an adult Joe. He drank too much. So.
Well, there you go.
Leave that alone. Okay. But
so Stephanie said you're the best, Ginette, if you didn't see
and
that.
I think, honestly, right around the time that you both, I know I saw you at the Diamond Horseshoe. I know I did. And Miss G, I probably saw you doing your shows too, because we were there. We were in and out of there all the time.
I no pun intended, but pun intended. I morphed into a lot of different looks. I went from my normal hair to bleach blonde wig to a dark burgundy wig to one of my best friends, Maleficent, or it's just. And sometimes I would do so many different things all day. I would, show up early in the morning and do 3 every day the holiday shows as Maleficent, run, take all that off, and then go be Cinderella's royal court dancer, then go into Hoedown, and then go into either Spectra or ELP. Like, it was long days, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. It was such a good time. So many friends I still have and memories, and I find myself on YouTube. That's what's a little creepy.
Isn't that wacky?
Somebody posted something, and I was like, oh, it's afraid. I wonder if I can find myself. And then they zoomed in on this person, and I was like, she looks familiar. And I was like, oh, that's me. Like, it was 21-year-old me. So I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then up to my face, and I'm like, dude, that's kind of creepy. But there I was. So yeah.
Last week, a very dear friend of mine. I'm curious to see if you know who I'm talking about coming up. This will be interesting. A very dear friend of mine sent me some photos of me a few years ago. And then I got me thinking, what's out there? Oh my God! There's Diamond Horseshoe stuff. There's all kinds of great stuff that I never thought I would ever get to see.
That was one of the things that I did when I was a coach. When we would come out and talk to the guests before we would do the parade, I would just kind of do a little joke and loosen them up a little bit. And I would say, okay, everyone on this side, make sure you're smiling for the whole parade. And everyone on this side, make sure you're smiling for the whole parade, because you're going to be on their videos for the rest of your life.
Yes. Yes.
And it's true. It's true.
And like, oh yeah.
But we had, Chris and I had a very, very, very dear friend named Jean Barnes, who would be, do you know who I'm talking about?
No, I don't know her, but you have talked about her so many times.
Jean Barnes, AKA, and I'm going to get a little choked up here because she means so much to me. She's passed away now, but AKA Grandma ELP. Does that sound familiar, Ginette?
No.
At all?
No.
Well, Jean would stand when she was in town. First off, they would stay at the Contemporary, and they stay in a specific room so she could see the castle. Okay, when she went to sleep, she could look out the window and see the castle. Always in that room. Her and her husband, were two of the most generous people I've ever met in my entire life, as well as her daughter, even today. But they would take us to dinner at the Contemporary, character dinner at the Contemporary. It wasn't cheap, you know what I'm saying? Sweet, wonderful people. Herb was his name. But Gene was always there in front of the Diamond Horseshoe, right across from the Diamond Horseshoe, at a very specific lamppost that was right there. Now, there's just a scar of where that lamppost is. And I will tell you, it's so funny that I wound up at the Diamond Horseshoe ultimately, because I would actually come out as Sam the bartender just before our 3 o'clock show, or our show that was just before the parade, and go over and see Gene as Sam the bartender, who was one of our biggest fans. That's the kind of thing. That's what Disney's about, you know.
Yeah.
It really is. Wow. That was awesome stuff. That was awesome. What, am I right? Am I right? Having those fans?
I mean, oh yeah, for sure. I mean, one of my extra things that I remembered is I had like somebody that actually was a cast member who became a little bit of a stalker and would like follow me down the parade route. And I was like, see that?
It happens. And believe me, you think it happens here. Try going to working in Japan for a year or two.
Oh, I'll bet.
They're crazy. There's Ann Sheets is there right now. So Jean might have been a little bit before Jeanette's time, as she says, but it is such a small world. But maybe before, or just the tail end of it. Anyways, what a dear, sweet lady your mom is, Annie. She's there. I kind of miss the comments sometimes because I get so wrapped up in what's going on in here. Now, Ginette, let us leave Disney and come into a whole new world, so to speak. And you've got Butterfly Dreams. How did that start?
Butterfly Dreams started because of my younger goddaughter, Kaylin. Her mother and I worked at Disney together, and we're both tall individuals who weren't able to be friends or best friends with princesses, if you will. And on her 3rd birthday, she said, "Would you like to dress up as Cinderella?" And I was like, yeah. So I had my girlfriend do my hair, and of course I knew how to do the makeup because I also have a makeup background as well. Unfortunately, it was a scary Party City costume back in the day when Party City wasn't up to par with costumes. I think they've gotten a lot better throughout the years. And I was at that party, and I had moms approach me and ask me if I would do this for their children at their parties. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like fun. I've always loved celebrating everybody's birthday, no matter what. I'm always posting on Facebook, happy birthday. I make a post every every year is a new post for everyone. And that's how I started. I was already self-employed and incorporated. And I just started researching to see if it could actually be a business. And Princess Sparkle was my name when I performed with my company. But actually, my most popular party and the first party I ever did was the spa party. And that is very popular.
Spa?
Spa party.
It's fun.
It's a lot of fun. Jack knows, she's done many of them with me. But what we do is we want to make sure that we have a little bit of a more mature, 8 years old up. Sometimes 8 years old might be too young, but sometimes we prefer them older because we also teach them about skincare and being your own best friend and hygiene and things of that nature. And all of our parties, we're trying to teach something, whether it's just please and thank you. We want to make sure that they go home not just thinking, yeah, they just ran around and had a party. Our parties are very structured and very planned out and thought out and very organized. But the spa party was our first and is our most popular party. So we always like to say that we're a theme party company, and now we're evolving and saying we're event hosting, theme parties, and all in between, because we're adding now decor to our party list. We're adding a few other things that I don't want to say just yet, but yes, do we have character performers? We sure do. But what sets us off from the other companies that are just character performers is we actually do the spa parties, the canvas parties where they get to paint, the cooking parties where they get to cook and then eat all their creations.
That was fun too. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, glamour party where we show them how to pose, and we do makeup and nails and hair, and they get to do a runway fashion show. We're bringing more interactive game parties as well. We have a glow party. We have princess, pirate, superhero. I mean, stuff a bear. Like, there's just so many different aspects to the company, to my company, and that I love. And I love just entertaining and bringing magic and joy to people all over. And now with the virtual aspect, forget about it.
I got to tell you, it's funny you're talking about the cooking party, because Jack and I, as our alter egos, had
Ginette
all set. We were actually, we may say, I guess. Ooh, boy, now I just had a little brainstorm just popped into my head here.
No,
but we were going. Yes, you will. Don't ever tell me no, lady. Don't ever do it. And you either. So here's the thing. We were going to do at the Breakthrough Theater, we were actually going to do Santa and Mrs. Claus talking to the audience, having an audience with Santa and Mrs. Claus, where Mrs. Claus would bring out the cookies and cocoa and everything that she baked. And it would have, you know what? It would have been so freaking much fun.
Yeah. And we made it still on the back burner, but it would have been a little more adult. That's
it's way on the back burner now.
Yeah. I wanted to say something, if I can, about I want to toot her horn a little bit. You don't mind, do you, Miss G?
You mean hers? Right?
That, yes. Working with her, I had been to other kids' parties, if you will, beforehand. And the one thing that as she was saying, one thing that I really, really, really like and respect about her and the company and everything is that they're in a very loving and kind and considerate way. I've seen parties where, I always digress. I've seen parties where the kids are crazy and the birthday girl or whatever goes out of their minds, and it's just a horrible experience all the way around. But she makes sure that everything is so structured and runs so smoothly. These kids actually say please, they say thank you. If they want something, they learn manners. They are kind to each other and generous with each other, because that's what she promotes. And you don't see that a lot of places. And I think it's really important. And have to do that with the adults too, Miss G, but that's a whole other story. But the thing is, it's very important. It's something you don't find in a lot of other places, and it matters. It really matters. And parents love it. They really do.
And if I may add to that, working as two of probably the most iconic characters ever. This is a whole different ball game when you're working with Ginette, because you've got someone there, right there, who doesn't take any crap. So, but she's very nice about it. At least to the best of my knowledge. Never seen her go off. I don't ever want to, quite frankly.
No.
But it's so nice to be able to be those two people and not have to be a police force as well.
Yes.
Because sometimes you have to be. You have no choice because you're all by yourself. Am I right, Jack?
Oh yeah, we've been there. We've been there.
Jeanette never sends us out without either herself or her mom, who is
Monique is the best.
And and forgive me because I have the worst memory for names in the world.
Who are you?
Number of people, exactly. There's any number of people who go out with us who are just delightful, and they know how to control everything. And
I know how it is. So I appreciate you saying that, because I know since, even before Disney, I did a few different things as different characters, and it's tough when you don't have a bodyguard, help, a hostess, whatever you want to call it. And working at Disney and learning that, and then being the only princess when I first started Butterfly Dreams, and having to be the princess and host the party and tell my hostesses what I need from them, it's just a lot. So I was very thankful that when I was ready to, Princess Sparkle was ready to retire, that I was having all these other cosplays reach out to me, and therefore I can, help host the party just as me, as Ginette. And then the princess can, or the character can do what they need to do and not have to worry about anything else. I mean, you see, I'm pretty much up your butts like every second. Like, do you need water? Do you need a break? Do you need that? Because I know what it is. And you're like, leave me alone. I'm fine. And I'm like, okay.
It does become, get out of here. I mean, because for me, I think Jack sometimes same way. When once I'm in that whole thing, you know what? I'm out there. I'm in that whole thing. Let's just do this.
And honestly, if you weren't like that, there were occasions when I say, "Are you going to drink something? Do you need a break?" No, I'm fine. Let's one shot. No. You haven't had a break in like 45 minutes. Do you need? And then you'd come trotting up right on cue, and that kind of stuff. Because I've also seen where not say other managers, if you will run their people into the ground. Literally, and figuratively, whichever is correct. But that's something, again, to be said for this. So,
as performers, we appreciate that, Ginette. We really do.
I want if you're in a costume, if you're just not just, but if you're a hostess, like I want everyone to feel comfortable. I mean, you've seen my email that I sent to you guys, and it says in there, make sure you bring your water, make sure you're well rested and you have snacks or whatever with you. I want to make sure that, you guys are hydrated and you have food or you have snacks. And if I need to bring them for you, I will. And there have been times where I'm like, no, you're taking a break. So go over there now and I will give you, you're going to go take a break.
And many times at the gigs, many times at the gigs. At one particular, Jack, you weren't there, but Lori was there. Oh my God. She's got the waiters coming in saying, so what would you guys like? And then we could just tell them what it is on the buffet that we want, and they will bring it to us, and Ginette will make that happen. So you know what, in all honesty, that's kind of a throwback to what was as a entertainment character performer once upon a time back in the day. And I don't know, and anybody who's out there as a character performer can correct me if I'm wrong, but they used to let us loose on that buffet after everybody left. They did, right? Yeah. So there it was. Guys, I got to tell you, we believe it or not, we're at 9:00. We've been doing this for just a little over an hour.
Oh my God.
We started a tiny bit early, apparently.
Just say one more thing before we go. Can I just say one more thing? But, how I was talking about different things from Disney, but I would love to mention one thing from Butterfly Dreams that always comes to mind. And one of the main reasons why I say that I do grown-up parties for Metamorphosis is because one time I was Princess Sparkle, and this is not one time, it's happened multiple times, but this one specific time, it was Princess Sparkle at a birthday party, entertaining, and I had the grandfather ask me to sit on his lap.
Hey.
And not in the...
See, this is the stuff I wanted!
Yeah. So therefore... and then there were, then the grandfather's uncles and all of them were like, oh, can we have you come to our party?
Ooh, baby, yeah.
That's all. Wait. That used to happen when I was the singing telegram girl, in the French maid outfit. Let's leave that one alone. Okay, that's really not. We don't want to.
I would pay for that today, but for all the wrong reasons.
And therefore, your granddaughter's 3rd birthday, and there's kids all around, and you're now joking about this stuff. It's a little. So ever since then, I mean, I have been doing grown-up events under Butterfly Dreams, and then I decided to morph into Metamorphosis a few years ago. But that is one of the reasons why I make sure I don't say I do adult parties, because where's your mind going to go? It's going to be sitting on your lap, and that's not what I do.
Absolutely. And Santa himself has been abused.
So it was his claws.
More ways than I care to think about.
Okay.
So, folks, Ginette, oh my God, what a joy this has been, truly. And I'm sure a joy for our audience as well. I feel so blessed and lucky to have had you here tonight. And we probably could go on.
Okay.
But
hours the other day with all 3 of us, and it was like, we're gonna pass out in the heat.
We could have that all day. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Ginette. I'm gonna remove you to the ether. Take care of yourself. I love you. Bye.
Talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Jack, I love you too. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk just a little bit bye-bye, Jack, in just a moment about what's coming up. Okay, what's coming up next week? Ladies and gentlemen, something really cool. This fella right here, Mr. Michael LaRocca, who created Bravo Broadway at Rubens Backstage in Buffalo, New York, moved on from Buffalo, New York to Las Vegas, has had quite the career, folks, let me tell you. And he is going to be on next week, which is September. Oh my goodness, what date is it? September, I want to say 3rd, but I don't want to be wrong. So let's take a look. Michael LaRocca will be on September 3rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, along with this fella who is our co-host for that evening, Mr. James Sahaki. James is a Buffalo actor who worked with both Michael and myself at Rubens Backstage in Buffalo, New York, and we are so lucky to have both of them with us. It's going to be what you're going to call Buffalo Week on the show. And we've got Michael LaRocca one night with James Sahaki. Then the following week, we're going to have the one and only Miss Michelle Ragusa with us, Broadway actress who incidentally had a Broadway show just getting ready to start up when the coronavirus hit, and that's on hold now. But we're talking back in the day, Young Frankenstein on Broadway. And I've seen Michelle do Mame. I was lucky enough to have worked with Michelle way back when at Rubens Backstage, one of the places, playing Roger to her Jan in Greece. Yeah, I was young that young. As well as we did How to Succeed in Business. She played my girlfriend, my mistress in How to Succeed in Business when I played J.B. Bigley way back when. So that was lots and lots of fun. What in the hell is going on? I don't want to know. Anyways, so that's what's coming. And I'm not entirely sure about the third weekend because I haven't heard back from these two guys, but I'm hoping to get two really cool people who have Buffalo roots. By the way, the co-host on the Michelle Ragusa episode will not have been from Buffalo, but originally from Little Rock, Arkansas. It will be Mr. Michael Walters once again as our co-host, as long as he's not in a car. That's important. Okay, so big excitement coming up. Come see us. Listen, something to know. The Bob Dutton thing tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the morning. Take a look at my personal Facebook page, Joe Zimmer on Facebook, and you'll see the link inside an article from the Martha's Vineyard Times. You'll see the link on how you might get to go see that and watch that at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Come and see that if you want to. The Ivory Door. And I try to be, tomorrow I won't be able to be, unfortunately, and I couldn't this past Tuesday, but Feed the Need. And you'll see that little blurb right down here. Feed the Need, Artists Helping Artists. Every Tuesday, yeah, I guess it's Tuesday, over at St. Luke's right now, and every Friday over at the Plaza Live, 11:30 on Friday at Plaza Live, and until 1 o'clock, I should say, and then I think 11 till 1 over at St. Luke's, Dr. Phillips area, downtown. If you're hungry, you're a performer, if you just want to hear some applause, if you want to be a little bit entertained if you want to forget about this whole thing for a few minutes, albeit not long, come down to one of those. You will be rewarded richly for doing so. If you can afford to help, please, they need help. Money, people, bodies to be there to help. Get in touch with them. It's well worth doing. Folks, I say it every week. When you get out there, look for the helpers. If you find them, when you find them, because they're there, when you find them, join them. Truly, it's better than any standing ovation you ever got. Truly is. Feels good. I love you. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.